Welcome back to AWS On Air. We are live at the London Summit. I'm Jasmine Kiles. I'm a manager of product management here at AWS, and I am joined by my co-host.
Hey.
Hello, co-host. Who are you?
I'm A.M. Gravelny. I'm a developer advocate here on the game day team, AWS Game Day. We got some friends down at the end there.
We do. We got something quite shiny on the end there. Hello.
You didn't notice this earlier? Maybe. Hi, everyone. Great to be back. My name is Alistair Bate. I'm a cloud optimization solution architect, and we're so excited to talk to you today. And who do we have here?
I am Letizia, Solutions Architect in the startups team, London-based. I came here with you, but you didn't tell me I was supposed to be shiny as well. Didn't get the memo.
Sorry, that was must have missed the memo. But today we want to make sure that we can explain what this is, and also go ahead and give a demo.
Well, here for this segment, there's been a gauntlet thrown. I'm reading in the title of the segment that we're going to build an AWS workload in 10 minutes or less. I asked if the pizza would be free if we didn't hit that mark. I didn't hear any commitment from this side of the table.
We'll see how it goes. But first, we do have a poll for you guys. We have a golden jacket here, but we want to know what is your favorite color jacket that you guys want to see. So please fill that poll in now, and we'll see what the results are later. I don't know. Do you guys want a golden jacket? Do you want a purple one? Green?
I want to know why you have that one on.
Well, how about what we do is let's start with the demo.
Yeah.
And like we said, we have a 10-minute timer. So what we're going to do is we're going to chuck up that 10-minute timer on the demo in a second and get started. And then how about we go through and actually figure out what this is and what we're going to do.
Okay.
How's that sound? Okay.
Sure.
Well, let's go and let's see if we get that timer started. If it appears, let's begin. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to show how easy it is to actually create a workload on AWS. And Letty and I are both going to be doing it. And we are going to get started right away. So we only cheated slightly by preparing a slight command for Amazon Q. And so we're going to get that started right away. And as we get started, Letty, do you want to talk us through Amazon Q and what we actually have on screen?
Yeah, this is Amazon Q CLI agent, our latest flavor of Amazon Q. It's our GenAI assistant for coding. So you can see that you can use it directly in your terminal. It has read access to your local repo, so you can read files, write files. You can also read your AWS accounts, knows all of the resources that you have in there, and it can take actions on those if you tell it to. So this is what we will be using today to be able to deploy this static website in 10 minutes.
Okay, I want to know that there's 9 minutes left. So what are we going to do?
Absolutely. Well, we want to show that for anybody who needs a website, we want to show how easy it is to create it. So what we're doing is, first of all, asking Amazon Q to make us a website from the very start. We're then going to have it actually deploy it to on AWS. We don't need to go into the console at all. It's going to help us using its agents to actually go ahead and do this.
Okay.
And so hopefully at the end, we have a very pretty website that everybody can go online and see straight away.
Okay.
So it's thinking at the moment. We're obviously doing a lot of hard work because it's we've asked it to command it and it's going to work. What you can see here is we have, actually, what's mine? Mine's a bit slower today.
Mine is done. Yeah, what we asked it to do was to build the front end for us. So our prompt asked it to build an HTML file that will be the front end. And this is the first file that we will be reviewing today. And we see that yours is done too. You had to approve its work. But then it's done.
Yeah, and it is. And we'll show you in a second what it's done. But what we're going to do right away, because it may take, well, we only have 8 minutes left, so we need to get it done quickly, is now that we have that HTML website that we'll look in a second, we're going to have it put together the infrastructure as code.
Okay.
I was going to say there's about half a dozen to 500 ways of deploying an HTML site onto some sort of compute in AWS. So how are we going to figure out which version we're picking?
Well, so we decided to go ahead, and I asked it for CDK, and I think, Letty, you're going to ask it to do, I'm not sure, one of the other ones, maybe TypeScript.
I was going to ask TypeScript CDK, but the beauty of Amazon Q is that I don't have to specify the services to use in the backend.
Okay.
When we tested it, what we did was picking serverless services that was the fastest to deploy, just to have something up and running very quickly, which is what we need today. So let's see if it's going to use the same services. Let's see what's going to happen this time.
My prediction, Amplify hosting. Maybe. I hope. I used to be on the Amplify team, so I hope so.
You're not biased at all, I'm sure.
No, that's No. Why would you say I'm biased? I said I used to be on the team.
Yeah.
Not on it anymore.
Well, like you said, the biggest thing I focus on is, are we well architected? How does
Okay.
it actually come in? So for those who don't know, the well architected framework is our guidance for how to actually set up a lot of our infrastructure on AWS, how to make sure it's secure, how to make sure it's cost efficient, and of course, easy to deploy. So
Yeah.
we've already heard from about Amplify. Who knows what Amazon's Q is going to give us today?
Yeah. And someone in the chat said, isn't that well-architected framework 6 core pillars?
It is.
Pop quiz, what are they?
Oh no, I'm going to be on camera now. How about we all go through? Well, let's see. Cost optimization,
Yep.
performance efficiency,
Uh-huh.
security.
Yep.
What else am I missing right this second?
Reliability.
Reliability, of course, sustainability,
Yep.
Operational excellence.
and operational excellence.
We did it.
I really should know this. This is my full-time job. So, oh well, we got there in the end. So let's see how we're going here. Have we got the CDK created? It's thinking. How about yours? Is yours all done, Letty?
Still thinking.
Thinking. Okay, we're getting there. Oh, I think it's about to be done. We have 5 minutes, so we'll have to see how fast it can actually deploy. Oh, let's ignore these extra pop-ups for the moment. But let's see. The other thing that we can use for Amazon Q is actually to look into how well is our infrastructure of code made. So in this case, Amazon Q is defining everything based on the best practice. But let's say you actually go in and start creating things yourself. Hey, how do you know it's actually built in the best practice manner? And in a second, once we start deploying it, we can actually go and actually have it review our code to suggest improvements, benefits, and everything else that can go from there.
So we're waiting.
We are. See, this is a really challenging job we have, asking Q to do our work for
Yeah,
us.
in 10 minutes, right?
In 10 minutes,
You know,
exactly.
like what would the normal development cycle be of a website if I didn't have Q to do it with me in 10 minutes?
Letty, what have you seen with some of your startup customers?
Yeah, we see a lot of early stage startups that really don't know where to get started sometimes. We have services like Amplify. You can do static website hosting directly in S3. So how do you know which one is better than the other? So what you can do here is, if you want to get started hands-on coding yourself, you can pick one option, but then also go to the terminal, ask Amazon Q, is this the best solution?
Yeah.
What are other alternatives? Which one do you recommend for which? It's powered by one of the latest LLMs, came out a few months ago. So it's Sonnet 3.7, which is beating all of the coding benchmarks.
Yeah.
So
And that one's Anthropic's. So
Yes.
this was able to power that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who better to ask than the latest LLM?
Yeah.
Well, so Letty, I think yours is done. Is it? Or am I looking at it? And so let's switch over to Letty's computer and let's ask to see if it can deploy. How's it looking there? Or am I too optimistic?
Before asking to deploy, actually, can we acknowledge that Amazon Q is asking me if I would like to explain any specific part of the infrastructure? So it's also we also like the proactivity. So yeah, shall we try deploy?
Let's deploy it. We only have 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If we
how
weren't
it's
in a rush to deploy, I could imagine that a question like that would be something that would be good. Like if I am deploying the website and I want to put it in my documentation about why I did something, or be able to pass off that information to a different team, you know, maybe it's the marketing team for launch, right? They want to put in the launch announcement, like, why did we do something like this? I could use that feature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the things it's often used for is for adding comments to your code, adding that README documentation, and even unit tests to make sure that when you actually deploy it, it's going to be doing it efficiently.
Yeah.
Well, since we have 3 minutes left and we're going to have to wait for it to deploy, yours is going a bit faster with Wi-Fi today. Let's go and have a look at the actual website it created for us. So we'll switch to my computer. And keep in mind, we had one command, and in a second, you'll see how bright of a screen has come up on my computer. And we can hopefully get that bit of a demo. So we'll switch over. There we are. So keep in mind, we had a one simple command line ask. We said, hey, we want to make a website that can deploy, that sells jacket, that has buttons, that can add to a cart, that's called Unicorn Apparel. And it's gone ahead and created all of these things. Now, I don't know, is it a bit too orange? Is that our favorite color there? Maybe not?
Yeah, I love orange.
I
Why
like
not?
it.
Why
yeah,
not?
absolutely.
it.
Let's switch. Let's switch to
Oh.
purple.
Oh,
You sure it's
Purple.
not gold?
exactly. Well, a bit too much? Okay, let's try it there.
I didn't say it was a bit too much. You did.
I just alluded to it may be quite colorful. Well, let's yours is deploying, so let's see what we can
I
do.
don't think he knows I'm talking about the jacket.
Oh, sorry.
He does.
I did tell them that they can make as much fun of it as possible, but I haven't heard much so far. Come on, guys. We need to pick up your game a bit here. Okay, let's change the website color to, hey, let's go with purple. All right, we'll see what color jackets people want at the end, but for the moment, let's see what happens in the background. Now, let's see. How's yours going, Letty? Is it deploying there at the moment?
It's deploying. Update complete. Let's
Ooh.
see once we receive confirmation.
We'll be able to check out and see how it goes.
And I should be given a link to our...
You should be, right? Well, mine shouldn't take too long, so we'll take a look and see if the CSS has updated.
I see 1 minute and 15 seconds left on that timer, so
It is-
will I be getting a pizza, or what do we think?
You know, like...
It did get deployed.
We have a website.
I don't know, AM. While they work that out, what do you want on your pizza?
Yeah, I'm just a cheese guy.
Yeah,
you know?
no pineapple?
No,
Okay.
I'm
All right.
plain cheese.
Okay.
I'm
I love cheese pizza.
Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
I think we're
Fresh
throwing
cheese
them
pizza.
off. You got 50 seconds left on the timer.
I know, it's almost infuriating because we're just waiting for it to deploy, and it could take anywhere between a minute or 3. Like, I want to distract you with a second because I
Shouldn't
may have
gone
updated.
with the purple, I think.
Well,
you know?
hey, look, if we take a look at my screen for a second, we do have an updated.
Oh, okay,
So
all
again,
right.
I don't have to know any code at this point to create this website. And while we are down to the wire, let's see if we make it in 22 seconds. We may be slightly over in this case, but let's see if we can actually get this deployed on AWS. So Letty's screen is typing.
There's a lot of create in progress and create complete, so I should be given a link anytime soon now.
That's always a good sign in CloudFormation. If it's
It
create complete, that's good. Usually mine say rollback complete for some reason.
Oh, no.
I don't know why.
That's
sounds
because
like-
I wasn't the one coding, but
That's
Amazon
right.
Q did the hard work.
It sounds like you need a bit of more Amazon Q support in your role. Like maybe
so.
that will solve all your issues right there.
Maybe
Well,
so.
fortunately for us, their timer ended, so they owe us pizza.
Yeah. I think that's a pizza.
Next
I
time.
believe so.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, how about on the weekend, we'll take you for pizza?
Well, here's the deal. I'm leaving Friday.
Ah,
I'm
What a
also leaving
surprise
Friday.
that you would offer the weekend.
I know,
Yeah.
it's like I knew when you're flying out. Fine. Well, while that is loading, we have 3.5 minutes left of our segment.
We
So
do.
Let's go ahead and we'll just show you what else Amazon Q can do. So looking back at my screen, what do we have here? Okay, so we have all these files. We have the infrastructure as code created. Now, let's say you created this yourself. We didn't. We let Amazon Q do all the work today, and we'll continue letting it do all the work. But we can now ask questions about exactly what it's created and get some information. But what I want to know is, how does it line up against the well-architected framework? So let's go ahead and add that in here. How does the infrastructure, and luckily you don't have to spell English right here, it'll figure it out, as code line up against the well-architected framework, specifically the 6 pillars. So let's see what it has to say. What it will do is it will go and actually scan the code and figure out what's in the repository that you're currently in and give you contextual answers to actually figure out how we'll go from there. So we'll give it a second. Like with everything today, we have to be patient.
Yeah.
It does need to think a bit. Because, you know, if we asked one of the architects in the Ask an Architect booth, they would also need to consider that. And that's what you've been doing all day today, answering everybody's question at the summit.
Yeah.
Correct.
Some tricky questions, or has everything been pretty
Always.
straightforward?
There's always something you don't know. You can't know everything, but you can ask Amazon Q.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's see what it says here. Let's break down how... okay, maybe my question wasn't too specific. Oh, maybe it was. So we can see here on the left, we have an answer to those questions. It's focusing on each of the pillars: operational excellence, security, and it is saying that it enables the security controls and many more things. Now, there's a lot of words here, and we want to make this fun interactive. So let's just ask, how could we improve our code today?
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, how do you improve on perfection, though?
Sorry, it is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if there are some developers out there who want to get pretty good at this, how could they go get access to the Amazon Q CLI?
Absolutely. Well, so Amazon Q is available for everybody, and they can go and install it. And it's available right now for organizations, but also individuals as well.
Yes, you can find it on the Amazon Q service page. There is a free version where you can just install it and try it out, or there is also a pro version where you have unlimited access basically to the model behind it.
All you need is a builder ID for the free
Exactly.
version. Yeah.
And there's both, we've been demoing both the CLI agent, which is the one that you've been seeing doing all that work today, but also the extension for Visual Studio Code. So go and try out and figure out which one is the best for you. So how's the deployment going? Are we going to be giving them 2 or 3 pizzas, or are we going to have a full-on website?
I can show a CloudFormation stack with creating progress with 11 out of the 14 resources created
So
and
close.
3 resources in progress, but no errors. which means-
Jasmine, we're
I'm
about
on
to
the
become a
edge of my
2-pizza
seat.
team.
Oh, 2 pizza.
We're going to be a 2-pizza team, just
I'm
you
on
and
the
me.
edge of my seat, but I want to suggest that maybe we change this to building an AWS website in 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Next time,
15.
we'll hurry up and do it a bit
Okay,
faster.
as we close, what is the gold jacket for?
A good question. So the gold jacket is for anybody who's gone ahead and done all of the AWS certifications. So it took me a few years to do it, and don't worry, you can always focus on the ones you want, but it's available. So if anybody's looking to go and do the certifications, go and do it. It's a great way to learn all about AWS.
Well, we got to get out of here, but you got to stay right here because we're coming back with more live at the London Summit. We'll see you there.